Today I fucked up by comforting my new puppy in the middle of the night. So this happened last night, but I am most definitely still feeling the ramifications of my little miscalculation. 3 days ago, myself and my fiancé picked up our gorgeous Cocker Spaniel puppy, Barnaby. All was going well and he's a lovely dog and we both adore him. As with most puppies, he is still adjusting to life away from his mother and littermates and requires comforting at times during the night. Last night was my turn to get up and comfort him in his pen, which we have set up in our bedroom to keep him close while he adjusts. Around 1 a.m. this morning he woke, yelping, and I proceeded to get out of bed to comfort him and get him back to sleep. Now at this point it's pertinent to say, I sleep completely naked and that our puppy is at the stage where he is mouthing, in other words biting everything he comes into contact with. I think you can guess where this is going. I proceed to climb over, into his pen and begin to kneel down by him. As I do this he jumps up and latches himself onto my phallus, with what felt like all the force of a raging animal, sinking his teeth deep into the shaft, both front and back. I let out a blood-curdling scream, waking my partner, who woke to a horrific scene of me profusely bleeding from the penis and the puppy jumping up and down in excitement, thinking it's some kind of sick game of catch the phallus. Fast forward to this morning and I am in a great deal of pain, having 2 puncture marks, both front and back on the shaft of my penis and terrible bruising on around 30% of it. LPT. Never enter a puppy's pen naked. Too long did not read. I got up in the middle of the night to comfort my pup, naked, and he bit my penis, causing a great deal of pain, bleeding and bruising. Edit. I've just had my hospital appointment. I was asked whether I would be happy with a female nurse. I said sure. My partner had to come with me as a chaperone, not sure what they thought the nurse was going to do to me. As I sheepishly explained the whole saga, the nurse examined my mangled manhood and confirmed there was no sign of infection, no antibiotics required. By this time both the nurse and my partner are finding it hilarious. She proceeded to clean the wounds, which only made my partner laugh even harder. She gave me a tetanus booster and I was on my way with the advice to keep it clean. Luckily I do anyway. And to refrain from any sexual intercourse. I don't know if that was ever on the cards ATM anyway. And I was on my way, with the nurse still laughing as I left. Update. I contacted NHS 111 feet and was called back by a doctor who said I definitely should have been prescribed antibiotics. He has prescribed me co-amoxiclav, which I have had to collect from the hospital. Worrying why the nurse didn't arrange for them to be prescribed in the first place. Thank you to the doctor who commented advising me I should have been prescribed them. My Doberman puppy almost tore my right ball off in very similar circumstances. I'm a big dude with a deep voice. When my poor wife arrived on the scene like an avenging angel, I was curled up on the floor making a sound that can only be compared to the whistling of a teapot. 6 stitches. 6. It's time for antibiotics. Seriously, go to the doctor. Dogs' mouths are filthy. We just got an 8-week-old lab puppy 3 days ago. I also have a 3-year-old son who is in a stage where he will remove his clothing the second my back is turned. Often accompanied by yelling, "Mama!" naked, while shaking his butt at me and running away. I've been using the legitimate threat of the puppy biting his penis to try to get him to at least wear shorts. We'll see who I can train first, the pup not to nip, or the kid not to strip. Lol. Doctor here. I'm not sure if that nurse is correct in not prescribing you antibiotics just due to the absence of cutaneous signs of infection. Dog mouths are notoriously dirty. Antibiotics should probably always be prescribed for a bite in such a high-risk area like the penis, especially if there are visible puncture wounds. If you decide not to go back, keep a very close watch on the area. It may be worth going to a medical doctor though, and getting a prescription for a short course of amoxicillin with clavulanic acid, which is the treatment of choice for dog bites. I mean, he's a Cocker Spaniel, so. I'm glad you're doing better. Great story. But it sucks that it happened. Sorry to hear about that. However, don't get up in the middle of the night to comfort your puppy. If you do, you will have to continue to do so. Put an old shirt over your pillow and sleep on it. Put it in your puppy's pillow to sleep with and try to get him to sleep through the night. If he wakes up, take him out quickly, with pants on. And get him back in his pen. If you keep him as active as you can during the day, hopefully he will sleep through the night soon. I have raised many puppies. I have a Labrador puppy who is 9 weeks now. He sleeps through the night. Hope you feel better. Today I fucked up, took a secret trip to buy an engagement ring. Now my girlfriend thinks I'm cheating. I've been planning on proposing to me partner for a long time now. I've got this big surprise trip planned, and I've kept it on the down low perfectly so far until now. The last thing I needed to do was buy an engagement ring, so I went to 2 different cities to browse engagement rings, obviously keeping it a secret from her. Google Maps on my phone was logged into her Google account. Little did I know it tracks your every move and you can look at past journeys. She was looking at a recent journey she did. She works out of home, office a lot, and saw that someone had obviously been to these different places and asked me about it. I'm a terrible liar, so I said I did go there but I can't tell her why, and now she thinks I've gone to see another girl. Google Maps royally fucked my over grimace. TLR Google Maps tracks all of your journeys. I didn't sign out of my GF's account and she's seen me taking suspect trips when I was meant to be working. Edit. Just want to clear all the red flag comments. She doesn't think I'm cheating now that I've explained that I can't tell her what it is, but it's a surprise. One of her thoughts when she saw that I had lied about going to work to go to another city was that I had gone to see another woman. I mean, usually Google even tracks what stores you've been to. So she would have seen that you visited jewelers. Tell her that you don't want to ruin the surprise, but you were shopping for a present for her. It's the truth without revealing too much. If need be, you can propose without a ring. I did that with my wife. I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. A few days later, we went into New York City to shop for rings. She got to pick one out that she liked and it was an enjoyable day together even if my parents were with us. This was before the multiple things my father did to add stress and drama to our wedding. Things that my wife still hasn't forgiven him for. But that's another story. Ignore the untrusting comments. Anyone might ask about that, it doesn't make her untrusting. I ask myself what the fuck was I doing there, sometimes. Better get on with it, dude. Plot twist. Op was cheating and now has to buy an engagement ring to cover it up. Who logs into someone else's account on their phone for Google? That was a dumb move from the very beginning. IDK if this was answered already, but how long from now are you planning to show the ring? Lol, I feel like I'd be pressed for time before she starts getting angrier and cooking up more bad thoughts about what's going on in her head. Today I fucked up by showing my brother the intricacies of a tampon. Obligatory. This just happened and I am traumatized. My 22-year-old brother had never seen a tampon before. Being the good sister I am, I went and got one of my tampons to show him what it looked like and how it was used. We got a glass, filled it with water, and went on with the demonstration. Upon looking at the tampon in the glass, I realized with pure horror, that there were bugs in the cotton. WTF. 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 The package looked completely sealed when I opened it. I went back after this finding and looked at the other end of the wrapper and found the tiniest of holes. We only found said hole by filling the wrapper with water and squeezing. How in the hell did the bugs even fit through that damn hole, if it can even be called a hole? I am so happy I didn't use that tampon for its intended purpose. Though after the horrors of what I just witnessed, I may never use tampons again. Too long did not read. Demonstrated how tampons were used in a glass of water, which revealed bugs in the cotton of the tampon. Edit. I have a picture and would add it, but I can't figure out how. Edit number 2. I put the photo on my profile page. It's labeled as the stuff of nightmares. Definitely regret clicking on this. I thought I'd signed up for a funny story about him freaking out. I want my innocence back. I am never putting a tampon inside my body ever again. This is terrifying. Were these old tampons? What brand were they? Did you happen to see what kind of bugs they were? I was expecting a horrific story, not this horrific story. Today I fucked up by reading this thread while eating. Well, that's enough Reddit for today. Please excuse me while I go throw out all my tampons. Today I fucked up by getting scammed by my own friend. It happened an hour ago and my wife is still mad at me. My close friend calls me and he is in panic. He asked me to send him 15,000 rubles, about $250, says that he'll give it back in 1-2 weeks. I've never heard him being scared so much, his voice was trembling, he was in shock. I immediately heard this scam call vibe, so I double-checked the phone numbers, called him back, asked if he really needed that money, he said that it's urgent as hell. I also received this panic vibe, emotions go strong, and I send him money without thinking much. I didn't even discuss it with my wife who was in the next room. Then I send him a text, "What's going on, buddy? What kind of trouble are you in?" and tell my wife that I've sent him money. Fair enough. My wife gets mad at me because I haven't even discussed it with her, and the whole situation feels like scam. But I'm 100% sure that it was my friend who was calling and he's in trouble. So my friend calls me back in 10 minutes and tells me that it was a huge mistake that I've sent him the money. Yesterday he was wasted and had been calling some hookers, left his phone number on some scam websites. Today he got the call and an angry voice was telling him, "If you don't send us 15,000 rubles, about $250, we'll slam into your flat and kick the shit out you and everyone who is near you." He had a huge hangover and believed it was true. So he called me and that's how I got involved into this scam shit. Now my wife is mad at me and my friend owes me money. Too long did not read. My friend got scammed and I borrowed him money to send it for scammers. If he has money for hookers, then he has money to pay you back. We'll slam into your flat and kick the shit out you and everyone who is near you. Big brain strategy. Your friend invites all his enemies to his flat for a party to apologize and make things right. Then get the scammer to come over and kick your friend's enemies' asses. He got scammed, you didn't. He owes you money. I guess the main message here is that you should have first asked him to explain what the trouble is rather than sending the money first. I dunno. If it were a close friend and they thought they were in real trouble, I think I'd send it with, almost, no questions asked. Hopefully they can pay you back, but ultimately you helped a friend and that isn't a fuck up. The friend got scammed. You, on the other hand, did a noble thing. Another example of why sex work shouldn't be criminalized.